jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed. Period. You already know what it is. The first in the building. Big Blunts and Boxing on deck. OG, what's good? What's good with the Blunts? How you feeling, man? Carlos on deck. WCS salute, like I always say. Until I see a press conference, they all selling wolf tickets. And they going for the low too, Carlos. They going for the low, bro. Arnold Brown on deck. WCS salute. Blunt salute. Carlos salute. No doubt. Big shout out to everybody that's in the building. So we have something that's very, very interesting here. As always, what is called elite bluffing. That's what I want to term this. This seems like a lot of elite bluffing. We're going to go through the breaking and see if you really believe it is truth or they're faking. Because this has gotten out of hand. You know what I'm saying? This has gotten out of hand with several fighters who have a backstory. They was at the lightweight division. Everybody was up here thinking one time or another these three was going to fight. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But neither one of them have fought one another. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of them. You know, we're talking about multiple division championships between all of these guys right here. And what's separating two of them is only one division. But really, in the scheme of things, if you really look at it, Tank Davis has fought at 140 previously. So you can pretty much place him up there with Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. So all of them have campaigned at that 140-pound division. Before I get knee deep into this, right, I will want to say this about Bill Haney, right? Because I don't want to, drop it later on, but it was hilarious, man. I ain't going to lie. It's classic. First of all, what he said about Teofimo Lopez, he told him to stop it. No. He said, cut it out. I thought it was funny because I was like, yeah, I'll say the same thing, right? But it was hilarious. It was classic. He said, cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Cut it out. And so this is what kind of spawned this live. Bill told Teo to cut it out and, fight Devin, right? Because, Bill is the ultimate producer, manager. You know what I'm saying? Of putting out, information in the YTC streets. Ain't nobody do it like Bill Haney. Ain't nobody. I mean, he done been in some verbal wars on here. He's done been in the trenches. And one thing I always say about him, he's built for this type of energy that you see on the YTC. But recently, AB tried to pull that shit with Devin Haney. And Bill to put it out there talking about, I can see you, if you could be a referee or you could be in the concessions or something. But hey, I'm just going to put it out there. We thank you for what you was able to do. All the shit you put in. It's not verbatim. All the lead work you put in back in the day and all that. But we'll take it over from here. That shit was hilarious, man, because you're right. AB would definitely love to go in there and fight with a Devin Haney. But no one totally understands. I mean, no one totally can without a shadow of a doubt say he can make 140. Though Devin is way higher, when ballooning up and rehydrating in weight, AB he don't have a leg to stand on right now. Even though he's a 4 division champion, I don't think he have a leg to stand on in negotiations with Team Haney. But it was hilarious how he said AB can be a referee or work at the concessions or something like that. That shit was funny as hell. I ain't gonna lie. But back to the task. I want to talk about these 3 warriors right here because the backstory, it tells a lot. This lineup with Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis, and Devin Haney is what needs to happen. Out of this trifecta, we need to see something. We need to see something. Somebody need to take a risk and fight one another. Look, it's senseless to think that you have this much talent, this close in divisions, and we can't get a single clash out of this trio. We need to see somebody. Whether it's Teofimo Davis, whether it's Tank versus Devin versus T.O., one of the trifecta, one bout, one matchup out of this trifecta needs to become official. That's the only way we can make this shit make any sense. So, as you already know, back in the day, when none of these cats had belts really, besides Gervonta Davis, when Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney was at 135, I mean, these were considered the Fab Five of the lightweight division. And we all know with Gervonta being affiliated with Mayweather Promotions at that point, they was pretty much driving their own lane. Whereas you had Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney was supposed to be on a collision course to fight in the WBC tournament. Well, that never quite materialized because it crumbled before it even had a chance to go anywhere. And the debris that was left over left Devin Haney over there to fight, I guess, Zohar Abdullayev, I believe, for an interim championship. Whereas for a long time, people was up here saying Lomachenko, petitioned for the franchise so he didn't have to fight Devin. And, that's far from the truth. We already went over this with Barbershop Conversations and Rick Glaser and Bill Haney being on the same panel. And, we already know what that was. But T.O. redirected his path through the IBF, and had a title eliminator with Masayoshi Nakatani. He won that, got Richard Comey, closed that out in 2 rounds. And the rest is history. He went in there and defeated Vasily Lomachenko. And he became undisputed at lightweight division. It took Devin Haney a little bit more time to get there. But I will say this, because I'm ticking and tacking. I'm marching, doing different angles on this shit instead of just going in a straight line. But check this out. When Devin Haney had that WBC title back then, regardless of how he got it, I'm not even going down that road because, right now he's certified. He defended his titles twice. Yeah, we can talk about that shit and complain, but hold on for a second. So, when you had the situation with Haney, Devin Haney with the WBC title, and we all know, those of you that was following this, that type of dust cloud back then, finally he was able to go in there and fight Lomachenko. He's ended up, fighting Lomachenko in his second defense of his title. A lot of people felt that he was up next in line to fight Lomachenko right away when Lomachenko was headed over there to defend his titles with Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up getting the roundup completed. You know what I'm saying? He fought Kambosos twice, fought Lomachenko on the end of it, and then moved up to 140. What I don't agree with is that Keyshawn Davis had mentioned something to the point where Devin Haney, he was saying something to the point where Haney, he had it easy or something like that, or whatever. He had it easy as far as him picking up the titles, and I'm like, okay, if you want to talk about momentum, the momentum that Kambosos had coming off fighting Teo, who beat Lomachenko, that's momentum. We talk about momentum all the time. So, Kambosos beat Teofimo Lopez, and with that momentum that carried over from Teofimo beating Lomachenko, Kambosos was okay. You know what I'm saying? I had to call him Kambosos. A lot of people don't know when I started calling him Kambosos. I call him Kambosos just when I got that tingling sensation that he was playing people. He was trying to make it seem like he wanted to fight Haney, but he didn't. He wanted to make it seem like he was going to fight Gervonta, but he didn't. He wanted to fight Lomachenko, period. He wasn't about to give the brothers no shot. Kambosos was all about fighting Lomachenko. Lomachenko got sent to combat, and the rest is history. So, however, that's easy to go over there in Australia twice and then defend your title. It ain't nothing easy about that. Especially the way he beat up Kambosos the first fight based off the fundamental jab alone, the stick itself. And then coming back to Australia again, beating him and defending his titles, which we all know Kambosos wasn't able to do successful. So, and then he went on that facility, but all that easy shit, that's bull. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. But moving on, Teofimo Lopez, 19-1, 13 KOs. A favorite fighter of mine. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's a favorite fighter of mine for many reasons. That's encapsulating who he is as a boxer. We already know he came up there to 140, and in his third fight, after defeating Pedro Campo, and then having a mediocre win over Sandor Martin, coming back in, performing very well against Josh Taylor, he's now 2-division champion. Looking at who he is at the 140-pound division, people can say what they want. Like, it's a small gap between him and Devin Haney. It's a small gap. That gap only separates itself when he gets to 140 pounds. Just because I'm not a huge Devin Haney fan, I'm not going to get up here and say that Teo has a huge gap on Haney. That's a very minute, small, minuscule gap that they have when it comes to boxing. The reason why I say that because Teo, he never defended his titles when he was down there. And also when it comes to Haney, Haney had everything off the table, including the tablecloth. He had everything, silverware, everything. There wasn't shit left on the table. He cleaned all that off. He had the WBC from the franchise all the way down to everything, the ring title, all that shit. And he defended it in somebody's backyard. And came back to his home soil and defended it again. So what he was able to accomplish at lightweight is far more than what Teo did. But when it gets to who's moving up and fighting for what championship, Teo was able to get Josh Taylor, who was undisputed now. That's whether, he has that small gap. But is it enough to say, okay, well, going into this fight, they can't fight each other? This puts us in the landing zone, on the LZ as we call it, the landing zone, right here in this trifecta. Because it's very important to note that you have the Sheik that's trying to set up a fight. And he's more so talking about Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney. Whereas Teofimo Lopez is just of a bigger fight with Devin Haney as Gervonta Davis is. Real talk. And the reason why I'm saying that now is that everybody knows Gervonta Davis is a heavy hitter. Everybody knows he's a star. Gervonta Davis is a superstar. But when he has these moments where he's outside the ring and no one really knows what he's going on, they kind of like, he's out of sight, out of mind. It is some channels on here that rock with him heavy. I rock with Gervonta, you know what I'm saying? I got mad respect for him as a boxer, you know what I'm saying? It's good he's not, being in any type of trouble or whatever. But in this particular trio right here, I don't see one head. Like, I don't see one fighter that's just running the whole trio if they're going to put on this show in Riyadh. I don't see them having, difficulties making this fight unless Al Heyman says he don't want nobody else touching it. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to say to yourself, which is a bigger fight? Gervonta Devin Haney or Teofimo Haney? Because I haven't heard any word about Teofimo wanting to fight Gervonta Davis like that. And this is where we at. Let me bring up the first piece of evidence that was just recently put out. So Teo put this out. He said, check the date. All right. August 22nd, 2023. This is in reference to him sending information to Team Haney for a possible fight last year. He said, we'll see what everyone in the game does after my fight against a tough, rugged fighter of Jermaine Ortiz. And this is pretty much what Teofimo is putting out there, saying that here's the proof that I tried once again to fight with Devin Haney during his fallout with Regis. Enough is enough. With all your fake joining together to make false narrative. Hashtag sheepdog. All right? So, a lot of people are talking about this August 22nd, 2023 thumbnail. And you know well as I do. All the Photoshop and copying and pasting. I'm going to take it for what it is, though. Let's say this is official, authentic. It's Teofimo Lopez, August 2023, and he's basically sending out a request, supposedly, you know what I'm saying? A proposal. I have a business proposal I would to talk to you about. I'm reading what's on here. I have a business proposal I would to talk to you about. How would you and the chairman of Madison Square Garden like to host Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney February 10th, MSG Sphere on Super Bowl weekend in fabulous Las Vegas? Joel Fisher, Sal and I would be more than happy to talk with you about that. We have already started to have conversations with Top Rank, with you being the first fight at the Sphere. Haney has mentioned as a potential opponent for this fight. We also have you headlining the Garden on December 9th, Heisman fight. What's the best number to reach you at? And we will call you now. So I've been hearing people, calling cap on Teo, right? And one thing I understand, like I tell people all the time, Teo is different now, especially when it comes to the gift of gab. He's different. People are underestimating the power of the tongue. The tongue is a sword. It can cut through a lot of things for many reasons. One thing I will always reiterate to people that Teo told me years ago that these fighters cannot, and they know not, how to market themselves and how to speak and build up their brand. He always emphasized that. And like I put out there before, when I seen Teo with this recent commercial with him, in the Top Rank headquarters with his shirt off, doing these commercials, and then even backing it up before that, him getting a Bud Light sponsorship, Essential Water sponsorship. He's getting all these other sponsorships, and that's extra money that's coming in his pocket. So when you come and saying that this is cap, you have to think. At one point in time when Teo was pretty much testing the patience of Top Rank, you know what I mean? When he was negotiating and basically standing on business when Vasily Lomachenko, he wanted to negotiate another 800,000 and was successful. I said, I can respect that. And then when he went to purse bid for the George Kambosos fight and Triller, they freaking won the freaking purse bid, but it never materialized because, for one, Floyd swooped in and put a stop to that in Florida, and it ended up, just crumbling to the point where Matchroom ended up picking it up, I believe. But my whole point is that Teo took the stand on business. He stood on all 10 toes to basically market himself. So when he's back in the good graces with Top Rank, and you see Bob Arum at the table, and you see all these high execs, what boxers have you seen do that? Like, you got to have a personality for this shit. And when Teo puts out information, I can't just right off the back say he's capping about sending this out. I can't sit up there and say he's capping, bro. Because they'll make something happen like this for Teo to be the first to do something because he's marketable. The wild part about the equation is the only one that's really been doing this pay-per-view shit is Tank. Teo does not have the register of fighting pay-per-view fights like that. When him and Lomachenko fought, they was on free TV, man. You know what I'm saying? They was on free TV. So one thing I say that separates Teo from Tank is definitely pay-per-view status. But when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, he's definitely a better marketer. He can market himself better. You know what I'm saying? The sponsorships that he's getting outside the ring is great. And I believe Tank has some good sponsorships too. But you're talking about doing something big like the Spear. I can't just sit up here and call it cap. I can't call it cap. Why am I'm going to call it cap? Because he gives me those previous, actions, he gives me that initiative with being first on a lot of things. Like how he's up here trying to market himself, what he was able to complete before anybody else did at the lightweight division. Lomachenko only had the IBF title to get, but Teo scooped that up. Previously Mikey Garcia had that. And previous for him was freaking Robert Easter. And, he did something amazing. So when it come full circle, for him to say 3 times we tried to face Devin Haney. First time overpriced themselves. If you remember when they said that, the Haney was just trying to go in there and ask for an astounding price point, which I have no clue if that's true or not. I know the information was floating around social media. Then second, he said he didn't show up to the meeting. I remember when that happened, when they were supposed to meet. And I remember when that was breaking that Devin didn't show up. And then, of course, Bill came out and said something. I just can't put a finger on it as far as recall memory. But I remember him saying something. And then third, he said, Devin told me he only talked to bosses. So I'm guessing Devin telling him he only talked to bosses had to be 2023. Because that fight didn't happen. I don't know exactly a date to put on it, but that fight didn't happen. So now what does that lead us? Let's look at Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis at the time is 29-0, 27 knockouts, southpaw. We all know who this AKA El Chin Checker is. His last fight was 2023, April 22nd. He stopped Ryan Garcia in the 7th round. Made a great amount of money off that fight. And when it comes to the business aspect of boxing, Tank definitely has brought in the numbers from the pay-per-view side. I still hear people discrediting him It don't matter what you believe the numbers he did. That's just for the sake of argument when it comes to y'all niggas. But you can't deny the fact he's been on big fights on pay-per-view and people come out and see him fight. That star power right there, what widens the gap between Gervonta Davis and Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. Neither one of them has fought on the level of Gervonta Davis when it comes to pay-per-view. Now, when you're talking about money, neither one of them have came and measured up to the tickets. I'm talking about price point tickets when you getting what you're making off a fight than what Gervonta Davis has done. He's different. Devin Haney hasn't been in that situation. With a fighter like Ryan Garcia, and Teofimo hasn't been in that situation when it comes to making the money that Tank has made with the fighter like Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't did it. Even though he fought for Vasily Lomachenko, he didn't make the kind of money that Garcia and Tank made. That's why you kind of get the feeling that the Sheik is trying to get Gervonta Davis to fight over there in the sandbox. Because he has been on the big stage when it comes to pay-per-view. He is the more prioritized prize fighter out of the trio. He has came in there and made an astounding amount of revenue based off the 3 divisions and the championships he's collected in those 3 divisions. These other guys, Teofimo and Devin Haney, Gervonta will be their biggest fight. Their biggest money fight right now. But unfortunately, it's a bit more difficult to link up with this. Now, for Teofimo and Devin Haney, people are going to give their criticism on what T.O.'s bringing out about Devin Haney. It was a blessing in disguise that Teofimo didn't take the fight with Devin Haney and fought Kambosos, because it ended up working out good for Devin Haney to get the belts when it's all said and done. It was great. A lot of things, whoever they're worshiping, Team Haney and them, it was a blessing. Because that blessing, them prayers came true. Real talk. He ended up getting Kambosos out. The facility went over there to combat. So what are we looking for as far as Teofimo putting this information out there? Do you believe it? Do you think it's relevant and pretty much saying that we're definitely not going to get this fight? I mean, look, the Haneys may look at it right now and say, okay, we was undisputed at lightweight division. Okay, absolutely. And now you up here, you a WBC champion now. Okay, I think this would be the opportune time for them to fight each other at 140. That's my only gripe about Teofimo right now. You're in a new division, and you're talking about last year, August. I mean, people were still reeling with their hearts bleeding out, T.O., from the Crawford Spence fight in August. Even if you would have dropped this information out there last year, no one would have cared, because they were still talking, and the buzz was what happened July 29th. Now, moving forward, this information right here is not going to damage, Devin Haney. I'm going to be real with you there, T.O. It's not going to do anything. A lot of people will just say, okay, y'all both champions 140. We already seen you go through 135 and then fight each other. I ain't trying to see that shit at 140. Either you're going to fight each other or you're not. This fight right here, it's all over the place. And I'm going to tell you why. Because neither one of them guys are just sticking to one another. At one point in time before Devin Haney, fought for the titles, he had T.O. all in his conversations like he should. He should have had him in the conversation because T.O. had the belts. Now the Haney's already crossed that threshold. You know what I'm saying? He made it past the line of departure into the combat zone. He fought twice in Australia. He came back and defended his title a second time. They probably like, man, I don't need you right now. It's hard to tell. I don't need you right now. But then again, I don't get the vibe that Devin Haney is trying to fight Tank. Like I was saying, all this rah-rah. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Devin was going at Shakur at one time, then Devin was going at Gervonta. And then nothing came of it. Nothing. We don't even have a fight schedule out for PBC, none of that shit. We don't know what the fuck going on. How do you know what to take serious in this trio? It's just like all these damn rounds are being misfired, bro. It's going in different directions. In order for you to build up a fight, like the infamous Spence Crawford's, years, you got to stay focused and get people to talk about y'all. No one's talking about any specific fight in this trio. I'm not talking about no YTC channels talking about their favorite fighter, like me talking about T.O. fighting this person. I'm talking about the collective community. I don't hear the community putting together T.O. Devin. Even with the Sheik putting it out there, say, hey, we call Al Heyman and see if we can get Gervonta to fight. And then maybe we can try to make the... I'm pretty sure they can make the fight. But we already, once again, been down this road with Spence Crawford when Heyman said he didn't want nobody else touching it. Does he have the same mentality with this fight? After he probably felt betrayed when Spence got new management? I don't fucking know. I don't know, man. It's hard to try to figure out based off what history tells us and where we at right now, smack dab in a brand new year, first quarter, and we have three big names, right? Multi-division champions who has never faced one another. So now, being that we have a new type of sunshine that's coming over from Saudi Arabia, that's radiating over here on the fight game, people are keeping hope alive, trying to think that they can make Gervonta Davis against Devin Haney versus Devin Haney. We don't know. I mean, they still got to go through Al Heyman at the end of the day, and they can't really get that fight without pretty much getting the approval. That ain't gonna happen. So we know that Tank is very Tank and his team is very meticulous, tactical about who they fight. That's just how that appointment goes. Now, for Teofimo Lopez, would I like to see him and Devin Haney fight? Yes. Can it be a big fight? Absolutely, it can. Absolutely. For unification, oh man, it's a lot on the line, bro. Absolutely, man. I want to see this fight. Either way it goes, man. Devin fighting T.O., Devin fighting Tank. I want to see both of those. T.O. fighting Tank, want to see that. T.O. fighting Devin, yes. Either way, I want to see those fights, but it just seems like there's no connection there. You know what I'm saying? It's like dial up back in the day when you listening to the motherfucking sounds and waiting for your shit to connect. It's nothing on the distant end, man. It's nothing. The ping came back unsuccessful. All these fighters are pretty much considered to be the elite right now. All of these fighters are holding multiple championships on their box rec. Is the information T.O. put out, is it going to move us closer to a freaking fight between these three? It don't seem like it. Because sometimes I be wanting to, tell T.O., like, in order for you to get people to focus on, whatever narrative you're trying to push, just stay in line with that narrative. You was just talking about Crawford. It would have been good if you mentioned this about Devin Haney, because you and Haney is in the same freaking division. You could have just said, "Yeah, I called Crawford out. I want to fight him." But see, you want to fight Crawford, or you want to fight the next champion in your division. What seems more reasonable and logical is fighting Devin Haney for for potential, unification at 140 to move on. Whoever the winner fights Subriel Matias or whoever's the champion at the WBA at the time. That gets us interested like we was when Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez was closing the gap and they finally clashed. That's what we want to see. Unifications to undisputed is great. I love, all the news and all the freaking information that goes along with the road to undisputed. I love it. Especially in this case, because now we have the younger guard, the new guard, so to speak, that was at 135. They finally made the transition up to 140. They've claimed their championship status already. And they have a backstory that never was fully completed at 135. So get it done now. Get it done at 140 pounds, bro. No bullshit. We shouldn't have to wait on the Sheik to try to hear something back from Al Heyman. People know Al Heyman. Hey, I don't know the whole shaboom. I don't know if Al Heyman is still feeling some type of way, about July 29th. He took a big hit with that. But I'm not trying to go and bring up that fight that's totally off topic. But for these three individuals that I have in front of you on this freaking thumbnail, we want to know what's next with y'all. That's all. We got some names up here that's red hot. Y'all are red hot names in boxing. Epic. Everything about this trio right here and the showdown. But all these boxers are formidable opponents to one another, man. No one's gonna turn this shit down. If you say either one of them are fighting each other, it's good for boxing. So what's next? Are we gonna see it? Are we gonna continue to talk about it, for freaking months ahead? And the only fiction that happens is here on the YTC. We don't want to go through that shit no more, bro. We don't want to go through that nonsense. We ain't got down on the, peddling in place no more. Talking about something, tormenting ourselves. These are not the Crawford Spence situation. This shit is more the closer to being made than we think. All we need is the business to be right. You know what I'm saying? Teo's about to go in there and fight Jermaine Ortiz. And that opens up a lot of negotiation process, being that, we don't know what's going on with Devin Haney, being that Ryan Garcia's out there, a butterfly that's basically flying upside down. You know what I'm saying? A butterfly that's still just lost. You know what I'm saying? It's wintertime, and that shit's supposed to happen in the spring, and he's a whole season off. I don't know what the fuck going on with him. You know what I'm saying? And you probably saying to yourself, like, why isn't he in the picture? Why? This dude is turning down fights like he's going through another episode now. I told y'all. He's going through another episode. 1 minute he's talking about Jesus. Jesus walks. He need to call up Ye. For real. Maybe Ye can get him back in the sanity mode. This man is turning down fights. He want to make it seem like he going to fight Haney. People was hyped up. Nope, gone with that. Go make the fight with so-and-so. That's who I want to fight now. No, I don't want to fight that person no more. I don't know what's going on with him. But what I do know is this trio right here, it shouldn't be that difficult to make. What y'all think? It shouldn't be that difficult, y'all. Craziest thing is we want to see fights, but the new age fighters need to grab their nuts at some point and fight the best that they claim they have already. This is what I would say. Partially is absolutely correct, Carlos. They do need to basically stop BSing around and take risks. Taking risks requires what? You going off your cojones and say, okay, let's get it. And then on the other hand, we have to look at it this way, Carlos, as far as the business part of it. Who has more, who's working the brake a little bit more on their side? You know what I'm saying? Who's brake checking the whole entire negotiation process? Because business will allow that shit to happen. Who's brake checking the traffic? Is it going to be freaking Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis, or Devin Haney? Because when it comes to the business, it's just not always smooth driving. The light turned green and we go from point A to B. It's just not like that, bro. So, that's a good point. They need to take risks, Carlos. I agree with you. And with taking risks requires cojones, especially with some opponents. And I'm gonna tell you, all three of these guys is dangerous opponents. All three of these guys are dangerous opponents, man. This is as magnificent of a trio that you can get right now, being that they all came from the 135-pound division. And look, I know Gervonta is still down there. I'm talking about he's fought at 140 already. So I'm basically lining him up in the squad at 140 pounds. And all of these guys have championship accolades. It's no more catch up. Like I said, the only thing to catch up is the pay-per-view numbers. But when it comes down to the achievements, paperwork, they certified, official. But with those accolades for these fighters, it's gonna be very complex when it comes to the business of it. It's just too much to deal with. You got the Haneys, they want their worth. I get it. They had to go through that bullshit in Australia. I get it, bro. I get it. Tio, he's definitely gonna negotiate his worth. He's up here. I told people he was going to be champion at 140 pounds once again, and they think he was going to go up there based off the Kambosos loss, and he wasn't going to be shit. Not only did he go up there, he fought the freaking former undisputed champion at 140 and Josh Taylor, who never lost his belts. What's going on, Mark? How you feeling? What's good with you? The T-Mobile Massacre outshines everything to this day. Yeah, Jay. Real talk. That day in itself, July 29th, the rules of engagement ended up being extremely violent, and it really put a lot of fan base for Errol Spence in an institution. But that's neither here nor there. I'm trying to find out what can happen with these names right here, man. There's so much talent in this trio. So much talent. Amazing freaking talent. Like this doesn't get any closer to coming to fruition than you can get. Like, when we initially was talking about this at 135, a lot of championships was missing between Tio and Devin. Now that has all changed between the three of them. Now it's makeable. A lot of people saying, we want to see Tank do this, that, and the other. But also, Tank has been able to prove to people that you want him to fight bigger names, but yet he was able to fight Ryan Garcia, who doesn't have the accolades of Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. And he has made more than Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez combined, really, in a fight. Seriously. They can say what they want. That's facts. For him to go over there and don't have any other titles under his banner to fight Gervonta Davis, Gervonta is looking at y'all like, come on now. You actually want to come in here and act like I'm not a prize fighter? I'm a prize fighter, dog. I'm a prize fighter. That's why I got Gervonta in the back. Because he really ain't in the back. They're going to have to turn around and deal with him That's why the Sheik mentioned Gervonta's name. Like, I want to be able to try to make a offer that pays Gervonta more than he ever made in his career. The Sheik is pretty much saying Gervonta is the A side out of these two, out of Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. Even though he ain't never been undisputed, it's all about the Benjamins. And people don't want to hear that. They ain't going to like that. They want to say, no, man, that's not even the full moon, dog. What you talking about? He ain't no A-side. Yeah, the Sheik, he said we reached out to Gervonta, and they want to put that dollar up for him to zip line over there into the sandbox to try to make him and Haney. That's going to be big money for both of them. But can they do it? I don't think so, bro. Anything is possible, because in Riyadh, they're showing that they're all about getting straight to the point. They're not trying to go up here and put on reality shows like we used to in the U.S. We ain't trying to hear that shit. Nah, you can't say what was cold, because for one, without getting into people business, you don't know you never been around him and his wife. I happen to be one of the only content creators that was there when they was dating. You know what I'm saying? Covering them. And I would say for a fact, I never, and I'm one of the only ones that had dinner with him. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't arguing at that point. Every relationship has its ups and its downs, its good and bad. But to say that you're gonna put that man out there like that, divorcing his wife after she had the baby, you're trying to imply that ain't cool, man. That ain't cool, because he love his son. You know what I'm saying? He has videos out there where his son has boxing gloves on. I remember when his son was in the cradle. You know what I'm saying? So just because, people look at Teofimo as being this star, that doesn't mean boxers ain't went through personal problems. Everybody's human. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't hold down marriages, man. It's tough. Take it from somebody who's been there, done that. It's tough, man. That's all I'm going to say about that. Prince Turk going to get it done, hopefully. Yeah, I agree. I believe right now, you know what I'm saying, the engine that they have is operating off a whole different freaking Battlestar Galactica, goddammit. They on some space shit over there. They up here talking like they already know the coordinates on where they going. They ain't up here, oh, well, we gotta wait. We got to get everybody together and talk it up and see when it's good. No, this dude is up here saying, I want this fight. I want that fight. And we hopefully we can get this fight. I want that and that. They're telling you. And the solid part about it all is that he gives you the energy that he is the proven authority. He's the decision maker. I'm going to make it happen. I don't have to answer to nobody about no freaking budget. I want to put on some of the big fights. And if you allow them, right, they keep on doing what they're doing. And if they come over here and scoop up one of these boxing promotions and potentially link up with Dana White, with the UFC and all, it's over. It's done, man. It's over. Real talk. Boxing is never going to be the same. Don't say I ain't tell you. Boxing is never going to be the same. I truly believe they're going to make their presence known over here in the U.S. footprint in boxing. I have not heard one time that the Sheik has said, we're not trying to expand, okay? When you got money, you can expand. Whenever they come up here to the U.S. footprint and they make their presence known permanently, there's nobody going to be able to compete. Nobody. All those little sublets and microcosm freaking promotions over here, they're not going to be able to compete with them guys. You're going to see some of the best fights you ever seen in Vegas. If these guys are behind it, they wouldn't necessarily have to be there in person, on deck. But whoever they have that's putting on, man, it's going to be amazing. Because they're going to be able to get the the top names to fight each other without us going to a dream ship of, man, three years down the road, man, this is going to be something I look forward to. Wow. No, that's going to be over, man. That's going to be over. We just hope it happens. It goes down that way. Real talk. So, with everything that's going on, from what I heard at the end of March, supposedly, Gervonta's supposed to be stepping back in the square. Like, once again, we don't know, man. We don't know how to damn gauge this shit, bro. Sucks, man. We don't know who is he gonna fight, man? For real, man. This shit is just another rotation, man, where we up here, twiddling our thumbs and trying to guess what's gonna happen. When people was over here claiming they had the sources and they can't bring any information to the light as to when this fight schedule gonna be. I'm curious to know who's gonna do what. I mean, it was good to hear Maul Charlo, but we haven't even heard too much from Maul Charlo. We haven't seen that on the IG. He said he was gonna be back March. Has anybody seen some freaking IG posts from Maul Charlo? Who's he gonna fight this year? That's the wild part about it, man. We'll see if this guy can make it happen. I'm pretty sure he can. He speaks with a level of confidence because he has the incredible monetary resources to move the needle. And believe me, his needle is different than a lot of people. I'm going to jump off that and go to a different topic. Shoddy. For real. So you might want to keep your eye tuned to the British boxing bosses. You know what I'm saying? Queensberry versus Matchroom, 5 versus 5, but will it translate globally? They're finally coming together, man. Hey, things are changing, man. People trying to do business regardless of how they feel about one another. Will that shit translate globally? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't freaking know. And this is not the live that I'm going to try to tell you. Through my investigative efforts, this is what I came up with. No, it's not even going to happen. I'm not even going to go in detail about it. If you look out here on these sites, all they doing is just talking about social media shit. They're talking about Adrian Broner, taunts Haney. You know what I'm saying? Bill Haney rules out fight, which he should. He should rule that out. Because Devin's on a different level right now. I'm going to be honest. He's on a different level, dog. I like AB, but he's on a different level. They continue to say Francis Ngannou has a legitimate chance. See, if WCS keeps saying it, people act like I'm just talking. I actually, pay attention to MMA. I've been to gyms. I watch their drills. I've been to martial arts fights. So you're just getting boxing fans, and their passion from their vantage point is to say that Anthony Joshua, yeah, he's gonna destroy Francis. He's gonna stop. I'm like saying to yourself, like, when have you seen him destroy someone previously? That knockout of Robert Helenius, come on. I mean, you give no credit to Deontay for stopping him round 1, but you give all the credit to the Most High for him doing a poster freaking knockout when he was getting beat up. Get the F out of here. Get the F out of here. The strangest dynamic about this whole matchup between Joshua and Ngannou is that Ngannou, you cannot give him that X in the box just because he's an 0-1 fighter. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's an 0-1 boxer. He's a former UFC heavyweight champion, y'all. Just like Conor McGregor at the time he fought Floyd Mayweather was a what? featherweight world champion, and a lightweight world champion. 145-pound champion come off a 13-second knockout of Jose Aldo, and then going up to 170. Stopping him. A 2-division champion, 0-0, and went in there and fought for millions. And Conor McGregor ain't been the same since. You think he care? He sold his whiskey for like over 700 something million. Yeah. This man ain't thinking about throwing no hands like that. He's came in here and lost twice against freaking Dustin Poirier. I'm just telling you. Now you have somewhat of the same going on with Francis Ngannou. Francis went over here and got a nice bag with Fury, right? Now he's about to go back in there after losing. Who does that? How can you get rewarded for another big fight when you came off a loss? Why? Because he fought the heavyweight champion. He's a mixed martial artist, and he made it to the 10th and final round. So the whole play was to get him in there and look decent against Fury, which a lot of people are saying that Fury, hit the canvas just to make it look like Francis Ngannou is this big threat to build up his next fight. Now, you know how I am about the orders. Boxing is sneaky like that. Tyson is sneaky. Could that have been true? I don't fucking know. But it's smart, though. Because what have I said? I said, Francis go ahead and beat Joshua. Fury beats Usyk. People want to see the rematch. Then they'll turn around. Oh, but you don't think people want to see Joshua Usyk? Listen. Usyk is too old in their fight. Who really wants to see Usyk Joshua again? Because people have to look at it like, is it a possibility Joshua can beat Usyk? You're talking about a Usyk who not only would have beaten Joshua twice, he has a win over Daniel Dubois, and then he will be coming back in the Joshua fight with a win over what? Tyson Fury? And you think people want to see that fight? Hell no. People don't want to see that shit. People don't want to see that. You actually think Usyk beating Tyson Fury and he's not going to go in there with the overwhelming favorite? Man, that shit is going to be like 5-1, damn near. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be like 5-1. They say, man, I don't think Anthony Joshua can do that. Man, Usyk just went in there and beat Fury, bro. Hell no. Anthony can't go in there and beat that dude. They're not going to use it the same. Well, and Joshua did beat Ngannou. It's not going to happen like the scenario I'm using. It's not. They don't want to see him go in there and face Usyk again after him coming off a win over Fury. Hell no, shawty. You can say that shit right there. You know what I'm saying? You can say that. Don't go into that. Don't do it to yourself now. Don't do that. Serious. Don't stage that picture in your head. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's hazing right there. I can only give you the scenario as best as I can. They're up here saying that Francis Ngannou had a legitimate chance to upset Anthony Joshua. I totally agree with that. But see, when they say it on their platform, people are going to look at it and use this content. WCS said it right off the rip. I believe that Francis Ngannou is going to beat Joshua. Because in big fights, Joshua's really not. It's amazing how Joshua continues to basically mesmerize these fans. And I think a lot of these fans, now from a woman's standpoint, they feel the way they feel. But a lot of these dudes are vicariously up here thinking, oh man, Joshua's gonna do it. Joshua, they living vicariously through Joshua though. They want the physique and aesthetics, man. That's all they looking at. Joshua continue to go up here and blunder in big fights, and he goes right back around. He got a fight that a dude who's been in there with Fury, who he hasn't fought, and they give him the nod. Oh, he's gonna get it done. These are boxing fans. Oh, he's gonna knock out Ngannou. What? Francis Ngannou would have knocked out Robert Helenius. I feel great about it. I feel good about him going in there. If Ngannou fought Robert Helenius, he would have knocked him out too. What else are they saying here? Just pretty much going. And this is the important part. They say the former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou, 0-1, lost his debut as a pro boxer, but his success came in the form of a moral victory. And that's what I was highlighting earlier. It's absolutely a moral victory, especially when Riyadh is focusing on the heavyweight division right now. You cannot say that Francis Ngannou is one of these YouTubers. He is legitimate mixed martial arts world champion. And mixed martial arts is a multifaceted, discipline from head to toe, using all 8 limbs as a striking format. Yes, sir. It goes on to say, Ngannou exceeded all expectations as he fell short to the WBC World Heavyweight Champion by a narrow split decision. So with that moral victory, with the current heavyweight champion, are y'all going to continue to say that Josh is going to go in here and blast through Francis Ngannou? Seriously. Dustin Poirier. Hey, some of my pronunciations and my southern accent or whatever, my freaking international whatever, may not, be deciphered correctly when it goes to the mic. But the good thing about it is that you all know and understand, what is good or bad. I'm not a public speaker, but it's all good. I know Dustin Poirier. Or should I say Dustin Moet? Dustin Moet. At the end of the day, Dustin Moet, he went in there and goddamn beat Conor McGregor twice after losing him in the first fight. But let's go through one more topic. I know there's one more topic in here. And I'm going to close it out with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, this is via Boxing News 24. It said Ryan Garcia has come out on social media today to reject the fight against former unified lightweight champion. Okay, you need to say super lightweight champion there, Boxing News 24. But we know they make serious errors. Unified lightweight champion Jose Ramirez next. Promoter Oscar De La Hoya said yesterday on Twitter that a fight between Ryan and Ramirez, 28-1, 18 knockouts, was close to being made, but the idea is now down the drain. The confusing part about this is that Oscar De La Hoya, when they was just at the fight, that just recently happened, the fight card, he's saying he was still trying to make Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. But as we all know, Ryan Garcia has sent out a text telling Oscar De La Hoya to make it happen. Let me pull up tweet. You know, I got it in the archives from what I believe. I have so many of them, but let me try to retrieve that tweet that Ryan Lion Garcia put out there and said, I'm no longer interested. Here it goes right here. Okay? He said, I've notified my team. Well, matter of fact, let me not do you like that. Let me take that down. That's what when I did my live. All right. I will actually put up the tweet itself without Ryan Garcia with that crown on his head, because he don't deserve that right now. So this is the tweet from Ryan Lion Garcia. I notified my team I'm going a different route. My intent now is to fight Rolando Romero. I pray my team backs me on this decision. Now, at this point in time, this is what I was saying about Oscar De La Hoya being out of the loop, so to speak, because he was still talking once, was asked on the media scrum in fight week. They asked him about, the fight, and he said he's still trying to make it with Devin Haney. Come to find out, Devin Haney said, hey, I'm done with you. Don't contact me. And that's when Ryan came out and said, I've notified my team I'm going a different route. So now, like I suggested, the route he would take would be Rolando Romero. But now he's coming out with, the news is coming out and breaking that he walked away from Jose Ramirez. What happened to Rolando Romero? That's the easiest route for you to pick up a title. I will be doing anything and everything to try to get the Rolando Romero fight, regardless of how long he hasn't been in the gym. I mean, you need a world title. If you got people receiving shit via the inbox, man, go ahead and go, stay on tap there, Ryan Lion Garcia, and fight Rolando Romero. Then you go and move it over to Jose Ramirez, man. I don't know if you're trying to haze your team. You're trying to get them to drop you, release you from your contract or whatever. I mean, boxing has been there, done that. They don't play that little bullshit ass game. They used to that. You can do what you want. That don't mean they're gonna release you from your contract because you're being difficult. I mean, look at this shit. Oscar, make this fight happen. Which fight? This nigga's going back to when I made this freaking damn little shit about him, bro. This is why I made this about. This is strictly Ryan Lion Garcia in action.
Tank, I'm going to say it in front of Mike and Jeremy. If you do not take this fight, your legacy is forever tainted. Nobody will ever remember your name. Nobody. The money's there. I know you love money, but money's there. Damn. If you don't take the fight next, your whole legacy forever is tainted if you don't take the next fight with me. Oh, my
God. God damn. God damn, Tank. I ain't never heard no shit like this.
Ooh, he's capping, capping. He's capping.
Y'all already heard that. Come on, bro. Did you see how Ryan Lion Garcia's hair was? It almost takes me back to happy days with Henry Winkler. Hey, this is the dude right here that went on a cap fest. Ryan Lion Garcia went on a cap fest, dog. I swear to God. He told freaking Devin Haney, just because I picked up the WBC interim, I ain't fighting you. I'm going to fight Gervonta Davis. And then pull it. Oh, my God. We back to it, y'all. Watch out. He's about to do it to you. And Jesus Christ and his Holy Spirit as my personal savior. I'm going to wait on him to tell me come on, bro. We thought for sure that you was going to go ahead and give us a big fight with Haney. Then we thought for sure you was going to definitely get Rolando Romero the easiest fight. And then now, a former unified champion, which would be a much tougher fight than Rolando Romero, you reject freaking Jose Ramirez. Somebody grab the wheel with Ryan Lion Garcia. Somebody grab the MF and wheel, dog. Somebody grab the MFing wheel. I'm not talking about the steering wheel. I'm talking about the goddamn wheel of fortune. Tell him to step away from stop spinning that motherfucker trying to wait for a prize to hit. Somebody take the wheel from Ryan Garcia. Because this man was up here talking about, how he was, he was more valuable now that he was and get that money with Tank. He was bragging about, hey, it's a moral victory at the end of the day. Yeah, I got stopped, but I got paid. It proves that my 10 million plus followers holds weight and holds value. Man, this is not good, man. Shout out to Jessica in the building. You know what I'm saying? For real, this is crazy, man. This man is back to way he was doing earlier. He's back to it. I have to consider him Mr. Capion again. He's Capion. He's Cappy. He's capping again, y'all. Pulled out a fight with Haney. Look, this may be one of the only times that this has ever happened. He's freaking ducked Haney twice when he was champion. I don't know if that's ever happened. Anybody, want to tell me if you know of somebody else? Ryan Garcia has ducked Devin Haney twice when he was world champion. In 2 different divisions, y'all. That is the first time that I've known one fighter to be guilty of such. He ducked him at 135 and he did it at 140. How is that possible? How can you goddamn duck a champion two different divisions, man? Win their champion. Why don't you just go ahead and fight the man? Take a risk. Like Carlos said earlier. Go get some cojones, man, and go in there and fight. It's not like you ain't been in there with Tank. Devin's supposed to be, less of a hitter, right? You went in there and you felt Tank's power, you got up. Why would you turn down and duck the smoke with Devin? Why, bro? That's you going down in history for your own reasons. Like, supposed to have been 5 at 135, and now you're up here at 140 searching. You couldn't get a fight with Rolando? You up here desperately seeking a championship to fall out the freaking sky. That just goes to show you may have all the IG followers. But when it comes to locking in what really counts on BoxRec, none of those 10 million that you supposedly got on IG can help you get there, bro. Not now one of them. You have ducked the same fighter in 2 different divisions. That has never happened. And that fighter was a champion, bro. You are the first for the wrong reason. And they're not going to make a list and put you up there either. Like it's in the 4-Bear era, the first one to become 2-time. No. They're just going to talk about you. They're just going to talk about you. That's all. You ducked this man twice in 2 different divisions. You looking real bad out here, Ryan. You looking real bad, homie. You are looking bad. Bad, nigga, you looking bad. I ain't gonna lie. Let me get to this chat. Jessica, shout out to you, Queen. What's good? 554 on deck and said, Captain Ryan, I told Easy that man a fraud. Man, try not to call him a fraud because he's going to point to the sky and say, just keep Jesus in your life. I'm saying if Jesus is the case, why don't you just have a moment of prayer, man, and just help him guide you? You know what I'm saying? Well, don't they say he is the way, the truth, and the light? Why aren't you paying attention to the Bible? You just abusing his name, man. You talk about Jesus Christ in your life, but yet you come out here like You're not focused, man. Like, he can't provide you any peace in making a decision on who you're gonna fight. Do you want to be in boxing or do you not? You was the #1 pound for pound on the Duck Masters Coalition by WCS. Now I have basically put it out there that you are the only fighter in boxing history that have ducked a single fighter in 2 different divisions who was a champion. You can't trust Ryan. He's bogus, as told him. Man, Ryan Lion Garcia, bro, you looking real bad in these streets. Real bad. I told you he was a whiner when he came up there whining about Javante being late to the presser. I know. He said, oh, it's unprofessional. And yeah, it can be unprofessional. But what was more unprofessional is that he hit you in the jaw with a left hook. And then you're going to shoot shine your way up out the motherfucking pocket. Man, come on. You a teeter-totter looking dude. This dude. I'm serious. Man, y'all leave Ryan Kardashian alone. Oh, man. Goddamn. No, you didn't bring Kardashian into this. This makes sense now. You know what I'm saying? Damn, yo. This man ducked the same fighter in 2 different weight classes while they was holding the belt, dog. God damn. Dude. I don't know what to say about you, bro. I don't know, man. You mentioned Jesus Christ, and I myself have much respect for the Most High and the Holy Spirit himself. But we have seen and heard you use Jesus Christ a lot. And all I'm saying there, Ryan Lion Garcia, is turn to him in a time like this and pray. It just seems like one minute you telling your team to abort mission with Devin Haney, and you have chosen to go to Rolando Romero fight. Please make the fight. And now all of a sudden it's breaking that you have rejected the Jose Ramirez fight. How much kerosene do you need? How much do you need, big dog? You smoking for all the wrong reasons. But appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I'm going to leave Ryan Lion Garcia where he lie. I'm going to leave that man where he lie, bro. And if any one of y'all, get any more news about, and I also want to give a big shout out to those who, drop the content in the freaking DMs. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty of y'all. Blunts, you know what I'm saying? MD, some other cats has been there too and dropped some freaking info. I appreciate y'all. If y'all find out any other information, let's just say you heading out and you minding your own business, and an innocent bystander, you hear them on the phone, maybe disclosing some important information about Ron Lion Garcia's next, target, next name he's going to bring up, please drop it in the D. You know what I'm saying? If you over here eavesdropping on the conversation and now he's talking about fighting freaking Artur Beterbiev, Beterbiev at 175 for the unified titles, let me know that. Let me know that, so I can put my timer on my stopwatch and see how long it takes for him to pull out that fight. Let me know. Let me know. Okay? Until next time, man, y'all continue to be the hottest chat in the MFing game. Appreciate y'all for y'all support. I'm out. Peace.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Tank, I'm gonna say it in front of Mike and Jeremy. If you do not take this fight, your legacy is forever tainted. Nobody will ever remember your name. Nobody. The money's there. I know you love